Hi, my name is Bertessa. I just want to introduce myself before I get started. Um, let's take a step back. Let's go back to a time before movies and computer graphics existed. Well, not movies, all these crazy, high action, intense, amazing things could be done with movies back before, you know, back before Iron Man 3 and Iron Man 2, the Avengers, all of that. Let's start at the beginning. Now, the year is 1939. Martin Goodman has just founded Timely Publications, which will later become Marvel Comics. Now, when he founded the company, I'm not sure if he knew exactly what he was starting. There was only one hero, Human Torch, and one villain, Namor the Submariner. Can you imagine if that were the case now? Do you think that if it were, that Marvel would be here today? Do you think that if times hadn't have changed, do you think it'd be as great as it is today? I don't think that Marvel would be the massive gem without change. Change that many people knew would better the chances of a successful comic book company. Well, it isn't just about the comics, it's about the fans. Because ultimately, it's the fans that make Marvel great. I mean, sure, the heroes are great. Come on. The Hulk. That's my favorite. I have to say that. Okay. I'm going to ask you to follow me on the journey. 32 years in the making. Can you do that for me? Great. Let's get started. My childhood was not as great as I would have wanted it to be starting out. It was a bit of a challenge for me because, for starters, my birth mother, she didn't want me. She wanted nothing to do with me. So she made the ultimate choice to give me up for adoption. Luckily, I was taken in by my grandparents, which were her parents, and they raised me. They separated when I was about a year old, and my grandmother, whom I referred to as my mother, met another man. They didn't get married. None of that. They were just together. I don't remember much about the year that followed. However, I do know that I became very sick and I had to be placed in the hospital. I actually died, and I was dead for 15 minutes before I was revived. The doctors told my mother that they had never seen a child that small fight so hard for a chance at life. Ultimately, I think it was because I was so determined to make my mark on the world. That was a big turning point in my younger years, because I don't think that artistically, without that having happened to me, I don't think that I would have been the brainchild I am today. And I say brainchild because my mother has always told me that I was never really creative. I never really, as even at a year old, she said that I was smarter than most kids using, but I never really picked up a block. I didn't pick up any type of artistic materials, nothing crafty. Never did. So I think that perhaps that divine moment in my life became a turning point so early on for me. Now, a lot of people have traumatic experiences. People go through things. Everyone does. And I had my share to come, actually. And I had no idea because I was so young. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. A little older. As a child, I found happiness and safety in comic books. So I was naturally drawn to them because there was always a hero in the story. I didn't have one of my own, so they became my light in the darkness. This way of thinking and feeling fueled my obsession with the comic book universe. It didn't start out that way. It didn't start out the way I wanted. I wanted to create my own comics and the characters that lived in them. So over the years, I became a huge fan of both Marvel and the DC universe. I wasn't really picky. I just wanted to have that sense of safety and heroism in my life because I didn't see that every day. My mom worked 3 jobs, and I was at home with my stepfather, who, needless to say, wasn't the greatest man in the world. So, my heroes were in the comic books. They made me want to be better. I wanted to create my own heroes. I wanted to create people in this world of pencil and paper that just inspired so many people. I wanted them to live in the hearts and the minds of children and adults. One day I wanted this for myself. The problem that I kept crossing was a lack of motivation and someone that believed in the fact that I could do these things. I was very artistic in school and growing up I was. So to me, it was something that I ultimately needed to do in my life. Now, let's try to get off on let's talk about something less emotional, less heart wrenching, something less depressing. It's been said that there will always be a light in the darkness. Many people don't believe in this thing. They don't believe these things at all. But they're very true. I believe that if we can reach out to the Marvel fans, both old and new, and show them that the old Marvel they came to know and love isn't just a fading legacy. I mean, the new age has brought joy and, I dare say, inspiration to thousands of people. What with the way we're able to make movies these days and the fantastic new fan base. I mean, let's face it, the movies are great. They are. They're amazing. The visual aspect that the fans get with the movies and the touching moments mixed with the humorous personality of the characters that the actors portray is nothing short of amazing. People years from now will look at the Marvel name and remember that even in infancy, this company, it was and it always will be a light in the darkness. It isn't just about the comic books. It isn't just about the movies. It's about the stories behind the characters, the stories behind the people that create these characters. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you what you already know. We all know that Marvel is nothing short of amazing. But it isn't the name that makes us what we are. It's us. The people in this room that make Marvel what it is. Sure, all the comic book heroes get all the glory, but that's what they're there for. We're the real heroes. And people that have followed Marvel since Martin Goodman founded Timely Publications, they know who we are. And they'll always follow us. And that's what we need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, the future is now, right here in this very room. I want all of you and the people of the entire nation to know that we aren't just the men and women pushing papers. We're pushing for a new and bright future for this company. The families of the men and the women that work here, it's their future too. It's also the future of not just us, not just the people behind the characters, behind the Marvel name. It's the future of comic book characters in general. The comics, the movies, it's about it's about everything. It's the future of this company. And the future is now. And I want to see that future as bright as it can be and nothing short of amazing. We are the people that make Marvel what it is today. We are the ones that take these characters to a new level. We're the ones that take the fans to a whole new world. And even though they know that these comic book characters are just that, comic book characters, they still love these characters as if they are heroes. As if they're going to really save them one day. And they know it's not real. They know it's fake. But it doesn't mean that those stories and those legends cannot inspire legends in the hearts of millions of people in real life. And that's what I want for this company. I've looked at statistics. I can point them out. I'm not going to bore you with charts and graphs. There's no reason for me to do that because you can look at these graphs, you can look at these charts all day. But ultimately, what it boils down to is whether or not us as a team, if we cannot push this company to a better and brighter future, there is no future at all. We have to push. I want to be the light in your darkness. I want to be your hero. I want to be a part of this team, and I want to take this team to another level. And it's about change, and it's about wanting that bright and better future. Now, there are heroes in these stories. There are villains in these stories. And I chose two specific quotes from two people that I absolutely love in the Marvel Universe. Agent Philip Coulson from S.H.I.E.L.D. He says, "Don't ever tell me there's no way." And Mr. Nick Fury. Legend tells us one thing, history another. But every now and then we find something that belongs to both. And that's what I believe Marvel is truly about. It is a legend, and it is a legacy. And it's not just about the history, it's about the future, and it needs to be in both. Be a legend, be the hero. And that's what I want to do for you. I want to be a part of the Marvel team. The future is now. A new wave of heroes are coming. You don't know who they are, and you won't see them. The heroes that are coming are the ones that are in the shadows. We can do this together. Now, this is a photo of myself and my husband. He is the hero behind my dream. He is the one that saved me from a darkness that I could not escape. And he is ultimately the reason I'm here today. He pushed me. He made me want to be better. And that is why I'm here. I want to be better, and I want to be a part of this team. I want it more than anything. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you for taking time listening to my ramblings.